Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an airline pilot, and in the past I did quite a lot of videos featuring products from Beautiful Model of the World and AmSim. Unfortunately today I need to distance myself from these developers. Over the past 24 hours, a lot of accusations have come up against Beautiful Model of the Worlds that they have been sharing pirated copies of their competition along the internet. It all started when Mia, the gentleman behind the well-known developer Flightbeam, has shared the following statement on his website. Now, I'm going to include the links to everything in this video in the video description below so that you can look it up directly. So for that reason, I'm not going to read out everything to you here. To make it short, they discovered a potentially serious cause. On September 22nd, 2020, they banned a user for piracy. This user has purchased KPDX from the Flightbeam store and subsequently shared it on a piracy website. They identified this user because they discovered KPDX being widely pirated, and all instances of pirated copies were identical, specifically linked to this user's account. A tag generated and traceable only to their copy of the scenery. The user's address was Russian and the name was Alexei Unishkov, the developer behind Beautiful Model of the World. Now, this accusation has been brought forward in the AmSim forum and been reacted to by another two commercial developers, one of them being Umberto from FS Dream Team, the guys behind GSX, and they too have in the past banned this gentleman, the main developer behind Beautiful Model of the World, for piracy. And the same goes down here with Lars Pinkenberg from Contrail, who has also banned him for sharing a pirated copy of Latin VFR's Miami airport scenery. Now, this is not all though. It goes on that apparently they have not just shared pirated copies of their competitors' products, but they have also created accounts under wrong names which they used to trash talk on these developers' products and on the competition. Now, let's go ahead and have a look at an example, and that's the user Peter113. If we go into the AmSim forums and the thread link below, we will see first of all down here that this user has a certain display name history, and in the past he was called Pavel AM. Now, Pavel AM, AmSim, rings a bell with me, and even though normally this would not be sufficient to accuse anybody of piracy, I think in this case it kinda seems to link up. Now let's have a look at some of the examples of what they did. We're going to have a look at this comparison posted by this gentleman Peter113 on the AmSim.com forum over here, where he compared the Flightbeam San Francisco airport with Google Earth image and then the BMW and AmSim version. Now, nothing wrong with a kind of a comparison like this. However, if you do make that, you should do it under your official name, and most importantly, you shouldn't fake some of the data. Something we can see is that the Flightbeam airport seems to look rather dark, while the Google Earth image looks rather bright and the BMW image is also a rather bright one. But if we look very closely, we can see how that image is actually faked. Faked in that in the image on the top you can see quite a lot of clouds in the background, which are casting shadows and therefore make the Flightbeam scenery look a lot darker than it actually does. Now, you might have already seen the similarity. I've positioned myself into pretty much this very point of view, and you can see that if I remove this alteration of the image and take a look at it in my raw live simulator as it's running, it looks a lot closer to the Google Earth image than it does on this picture by the Beautiful Model of the World and AmSim developers. Now we can go on with this kind of stuff with other pictures as well. Over here, where he, still not saying that he is the actual guy behind one of those two sceneries, says, okay, here's a screenshot from a talented and experienced developer posting the Flightbeam picture, and then below a screenshot from a young and up-and-coming developer posting the beautiful model of the world one. However, here again we can see how the shadows in the image make the front of the hangar look a little bit darker, while the sun is positioned differently in the picture from the beautiful model of the world version, on top of there being these beautiful looking wet ground effects added and so on. So clearly, once again, he has altered the conditions inside the simulator in order to represent his own product in a much better looking way. Now, these are practices which I cannot endorse at all if they are not posted under the real developer's name. There is nothing wrong with anybody posting these kind of comparisons, but they should of course be made under the same visual representations, and if you're a developer and doing this kind of stuff, you should most definitely say that you are the developer in question, especially taking into account that beautiful model of the world does have a verified commercial account in the AmSim forums. Now, this verified commercial account is actually the one he used to react to the accusations that have been made, and he goes on to reject them in full. However, in the very same rejection, he also says that it is illegal for those developers who made the accusations, namely Flightbeam, FS Dream Team and Contrail, to share his personal data online, thereby basically admitting that he is indeed the guy who was accused of that piracy, which this user down here in AmSim has straight away verified. So overall, not a very smart move, and in my opinion, it's really clear that this post basically confirms those accusations against beautiful model of the world and AmSim. Now, unfortunately, I featured a lot of their sceneries in my past videos. I can only distance myself from these happenings, and I can only ask any one of you who might be considering getting any of the airports that they have published to reconsider your previous ideas, and instead of BMW San Francisco, maybe go for the Flightbeam one, which in my opinion is better anyway, regardless of any of the developers' other behaviors. And likewise for Miami, well, the Latin VFR Miami is somewhat outdated, but in my opinion, I would know which of the two products I would go for. In any case, this leaves the question how to go forward with their products, since I do actually have 2 videos already recorded but not released yet, in which products of theirs are featured, and of course all those past videos in which some of their products have been featured. To be completely honest, I think, but this is open for discussion, so any of you is invited to put it into the comments below, whether I should remove all of my videos on the channel which include any of their products, or whether I should just stop recording any new ones, and what to do with those 2 already recorded videos, whether I should just delete them without posting them in the first case, or whether I should post those but then not record anything new with them. I will leave that one up for discussion in the comments below. I honestly haven't quite made my mind up for that just yet, since those videos do include a lot more than just advertisements for those airports. Up to you. You guys know what kind of value you want to get from my videos, so I'll leave it up for open discussion underneath the video. In any case, thank you very much for watching. I'll be sure that I'll keep an eye on the further development in regards to beautiful model of the world, and if there is anything new that's happening in these regards. But for now, I would like to say thank you for watching. As always, if you're interested in more aviation content, in more tutorials, etc., be sure to like, comment and subscribe, especially comment on this one, since I really want to know your opinion on the current matters. Thank you very much, and with that, I'm looking forward to see you all again on the next ones.